Got it. That makes sense, Zane. And when you describe Rothbard as a risk mitigated investment platform, what are your core principles that distinguish it from the traditional approach within hedge funds today?
Yeah, for us, it's all about drawdown control and understanding why drawdowns happen. You're never going to eliminate drawdowns completely. So, what you can do is understand why they occur based on whatever benchmark it is you're trading or asset class. And what we do that's differently in our newest product called Imperium is we take a whole basket of managers, understand why and when their drawdowns occur, and figure out which ones are least correlated to each other. That way you can begin to offset the drawdown. So one manager is suffering at this period of time for this reason, another one is for this reason. You can never eliminate drawdowns completely unless you stop relying on market structure. The issue there is if you don't rely on market structure, then you could easily be subject to anomalies. So there's a lot of great traders out there who trade anomalies, things that are like outside the normal structure of the market. But the issue is that edge can deteriorate really quickly. So like their system might work for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. But as soon as like that anomaly in the market gets corrected, then their edge disappears. So it's better to rely on structures of the market themselves, things that occur every single day in the market, you know, normal volatility. The issue, though, is when you rely on normal volatility, now you're becoming more benchmark dependent, right? So it's like one direction is a mistake if you rely only on anomalies. The other is also a mistake, at least for capital raising, if you rely on the benchmark. Because if you rely on the benchmark, then your investors are going to wonder, first of all, why can't I do what you're doing if you're kind of just relying on whatever the underlying asset's doing? And if you're just slightly improving upon it, are you using too much leverage to do that? So what we do is right in the middle. So we use benchmark dependent trading systems, things that are based on the structure, the daily structure of the market, things that are probably going to continue for a long time. And then we take different benchmarks and different managers and different trading systems, and we combine them together so that you start to become uncorrelated to any specific market. And again, really the driving force of where our higher Calmar ratio comes from, which is reduced drawdown for profit, is by offsetting those drawdowns. So different managers having different drawdowns at different times for different reasons start to create a smooth effect on the downside. Whereas on the upside, you can continue to compound and maybe capture as much as what like an individual manager would do. For example, let's say one manager can do 20% a year and they've had 10% drawdowns in the past. The way we would look at that in a Calmar ratio is to say for every 1 unit of risk that they're taking on about 2 units of performance, right? So if you have a 20% upside and a 10% downside, you're basically 2 units of upside for 1 for downside. What we do is we offset all of the different managers in their different drawdowns so that maybe they're all kind of at 10% drawdowns over the course of their trading histories, but drawdowns are occurring at different time periods. So the net effect drawdown maybe is only a 5% at any given time because you're diversifying across managers at that point. When that happens, maybe your Calmar ratio is twice as good because maybe you're still at a 20% annual return, but now your drawdowns have been controlled to the point where they're only at a 5% drawdown. So now for every unit of risk to the downside, you have 4 units of upside, 5% down, 20% up. So it takes a lot of due diligence, really, is what we spend most of our time on. Interviewing, at this point, hundreds of managers, understanding their trading systems, understanding whether they have real durable edge, if it's repeatable, and then finding, all right, out of the 50 that are all pretty great and legitimate, what are maybe the 5 to 10 that have enough of an offset in their drawdown periods to start to make an uncorrelated basket? So that's kind of how we think about structuring a portfolio of people. So most managers are structuring a portfolio of assets. We do a portfolio of like people, the managers themselves, the trading systems they're using, and then the asset classes they're in.
Got it. Makes sense. And can you walk